So they're going to be prioritizing activities for kids, teens, and family gameplay. The Sims team needs to take notes because they're still not giving us the family gameplay a majority of the players have been asking for years. And I'm happy that the development team for Paralives is listening to their players in that aspect. You guys already know that until I get this facial hair situation sorted out and until I no longer look like a naked mole rat on screen, then I will be keeping the camera turned off. Hey everyone, it's Pixelade here and welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with another Paralives Q&A update video, but before we jump into that, I want to put out a little disclaimer. Not all of the topics discussed in this video, including many highly requested features, are confirmed or denied coming to the game. Most of these are included in this video for discussion purposes. It's been a minute since I've made one of these videos, and I did do a little digging on the Paralives developer Twitter accounts, and they have been answering several questions over the past, I'd say month, maybe month and a half. I actually gathered most of these tweets probably a week or so ago before the official announcement of The Sims 4 Snowy Escape, but because of news for that pack, speculation stuff, and of course now issues with Origin and the controversies, I haven't had a chance to make a video for this, so it's just been kind of chilling on my desktop. So without further ado, we are just going to jump straight into things. Kicking things off with the most recent tweet on the official Paralives game Twitter on October 13th at 12:55 p.m. They share a picture of one of the first images of Paralives, how it started, and then how it's going. One of the most recent images, Maggie's Loft, of course, and look at the difference in terms of graphics. Of course, during the time the first picture was shown, Alex was the only developer on the team, and now they have a whole team, including modelers, animators, etc. This just goes to show how much a game can change in a small amount of time. And keep thinking, guys, the more that they're developing this game and the more team members that they're adding on to their team, the better this game is going to look when it's finally finished. And we don't even know when it's going to be finished. It could be a year from now, it could be 2 years from now, or it could even be 3+ years from now. But no matter when it comes, it's going to be good nonetheless. Up next, Karima on Twitter tweets Alex, "Hi Alex, will there be wheelchairs and ramps in the game?" Christine Paralives replies, "We're hoping to implement wheelchair and ramps, but we're still waiting on the results of our last survey to make an informed decision." So before it was just something that they were thinking about, but now they're actually hoping to implement it, especially after the last survey, which they did send off to their community. I'm thinking that it is very likely, not just by this response, but by the survey that they posted, that wheelchairs and ramps will be implemented in the base game at launch, though it isn't 100% confirmed yet. In the next set of tweets, Emily tweets, "I imagine that Doggo's makeover is still in progress, as players noticed that in the first image we can see the dog, but in some of the later screenshots and images we haven't seen any pets." And Christine does confirm that the makeover is still ongoing, so there's been a major glow up with the actual parafolk themselves, and yes, that same type of makeover is happening to the pets. So I can't wait to see what they officially look like in the game when that time comes. I'm hoping that we hear more this week actually. It's been a few weeks and I noticed that they're kind of on a little schedule with when they announce things and give us progress updates. Every couple of weeks they share something, and I think that something is either going to come this week or possibly next week. Wild Banshee on Twitter tweets, "Christine, how's development going? Also, thanks for doing what you do. The communication has been much appreciated." And if you guys don't know, Christine is actually in charge of communications on social media. So if there's any questions that you have, definitely recommend that you forward it her way. She replies, "Thank you. Development is going great. We're putting the finishing touches on core elements and some great news are coming." This was October 14th, so I believe this was actually last week. Scratch that, not last week, the week before last week. If I would have made this video right as I collect these tweets, then it would have been last week, but not anymore. So I wonder what's coming since it's been about 2 weeks since she posted this. What do you guys think's coming that they're they're gonna announce. But of course, it's nice to know that development is moving smoothly, and I'm happy to be here to update you guys on the progress of that. Joshua Zimmerman on Twitter tweets, "Now for Paralives, I know dogs, cats, and horses were confirmed, or at least talked about, but I am curious about pigs, cows, sheep, etc. because I think it would be cool to own a farm." Of course, they tag Alex, Christine, Paralives Game Official, and Leia. Christine does reply, "These would be cool to add in future updates, but they're not planned for release." So of course, Christine confirming that other animals are not coming to the base game. It's only going to be dogs, cats, and horses, the only 3 that are confirmed at this time. Joshua Zimmerman also asks, "In Paralives, would there be teen pregnancies?" Christine confirms that it is not planned at the moment, so it's definitely something that we shouldn't expect, but not going to rule that out for a potential future update in the game, as it is confirmed that there will be future updates after the base game drops. I think that is definitely something that they would add if enough players request it, so definitely keep requesting, guys. Joshua Zimmerman tweets here once again, "In Paralives, will jobs be interactable?" What I mean by that is, could you go to work with your para folks? Say you're a barista, you would have to do tasks until your shift is over. There won't be active jobs or careers at release, and this has been confirmed before, so Christine is reiterating this yet once again, but it's something we'd like to implement later on. So like I said earlier, definitely a possibility in a future free update. I don't know if they're going to give us expansion packs, but the free updates were confirmed previously, hoping that active careers are a part of that plan in the future free updates. Joshua Zimmerman tweeting yet once again, "In Paralives, will there be hobbies? Like your elders would be able to knit," which brings me to ask another question. Would we be able to visit our grandparents' house? Also, what's your perspective on businesses? Like, could you be an entrepreneur? And Christine replies, "There will be hobbies, but we haven't decided which ones yet. You should be able to visit other houses, and an entrepreneur career path is something we are considering." Interesting. Odie something on Twitter tweets, "Alex, will we be able to import our own pictures or screen grabs into the game, photo, and art frames? If so, will they auto fit to frame, or will we have to juggle the picture, JPEG or PNG, in a photo editor and resize it to fit the frame?" Christine replies, "It is not planned, but you could still achieve something similar by uploading your own custom content, which has been confirmed to come to the game as well." Christine tweets on May 29th, "For ideas and general questions, while I regularly check all platforms, you can also reach out to me via Twitter DM or Discord private message. As I work part-time, it might take me a little longer to get back to you, but I will do my best." Julie Hoden on Twitter tweets, "I had an idea. It would be so cool if a friend or a non-playable character could decide on his own to suddenly kiss our para, and then a window could pop up to ask if we want to kiss him back or reject him. I like these kinds of things. In a way, this is story progression, and it gives you the option, you know, instead of you deciding everything that happens in your neighborhood or world, that sometimes random things happen and you have to make choices. I love this option." Christine replies, "Features like that allowing you to recreate unrequited love would be very cool. Thank you for the idea." It is something they are considering, guys, though it has not been confirmed or denied at this time. Guy with Skirt on Twitter tweeted, "Christine, if your para's parents split up, could their kid have, example, button to let them move to other parents' house when they want? In most of simulation games, it's such a struggle to try. Move the kid to different household on every week or so." Christine replies, "That's a really cool idea and would make a lot of sense. Thank you for suggesting it." I would love to see something like this in the game, even though Christine isn't confirming or denying something like this coming to the game. This type of thing would add so much realism. And not just this either, but also custody and custody battles. I hope those types of things end up coming to the game too, as not everyone's parents, you know, stay together. Unfortunately for me, it was kind of like that when I grew up. My parents split up when I was young, and I always went to visit my father every other weekend, and there was always split custody issues and all of that stuff. So it would be interesting to see something like that come to the game at some point. Poison Ivy on Twitter tweets, "Quick question, will there be like witches, vampires, or stuff like that in the game?" And Christine replies, "No occults and supernatural elements are planned for release, but they're still considered for later on. This has been confirmed before. Wanted to reiterate this again for those of you still asking the questions. We're not expecting these kinds of things in the base game, but there are free patch updates confirmed afterwards. They could come in those, and if they they decide to make expansion packs or add-on packs, you know, DLC that you pay for, I wouldn't mind them being in that as well. Madam Lee on Twitter tweets, Christine, I never got a response to a question I had. The titles you guys are planning to add, does that mean professional titles, doctor or MD, or royalty titles? Christine replies, we're considering titles, but if we do end up implementing them, that would include professional titles. Royalty titles would be cool as well. So Christine definitely making it pretty apparent that if they were to add them, it probably wouldn't include royalty titles, but I can definitely see professional ones being included. Asher on Twitter replies to Christine's tweet, just wanted to ask a short question. Will gay couples, such as two hot dudes, because I almost exclusively play them, be able to have a biological kid together? Like in The Sims 3, I love to have two gay guys have a biological kid together as an alternative to adoption in the game, and I agree, I would definitely love to see something like that. And Christine replies, we're currently brainstorming on ideas that would allow that. While it can't be confirmed, it's highly considered, and basically judging by what she's saying there, it's highly likely. So I think they're gonna add something like that in the game, but that would be so freaking cool to see. Yes, it's not realistic, but I mean, it's a video game, and sometimes you want to have a gay couple that has a kid that looks like both of them. It's so cute, you know? Not everything has to be super realistic. That's what real life is for, and this is totally different from that. Anna on Twitter tweets, Paralives, Christine, Leia, Anna, and Alex, hi guys, just wondering, will there be a variety of after school and family activities like clubs, board games, FX, D&D, and such? Also, will there be options for boarding schools like military, elite, and so on? Christine replies, we want to offer a lot of kids/teens and family gameplay, so activities are on our list. So they're going to be prioritizing these kinds of things, guys. They're going to be prioritizing activities for kids, teens, and family gameplay. The Sims team needs to take notes because they're still not giving us the family gameplay a majority of the players have been asking for years. We need more of these things in The Sims 4, and I'm happy that the development team for Paralives is listening to their players in that aspect. Christine finishes, we haven't thought about options for schools yet, but this could be very interesting. Even if it's not active, I wouldn't mind for them to actually make boarding schools a thing where your para disappears and they're off at boarding school even though you can't see them or you can't play them, so it kind of acts as a rabbit hole. I wouldn't be too upset if that was a thing at launch, as it probably isn't going to involve too much coding. Sasha asks Christine, will the game have skateboards? Christine confirms skateboards are not planned, but there will be bikes, and that's another transportation method that is 100% confirmed at this moment. Legally an artist on Twitter tweets, Leia, Anna, Alex, and Christine, will we be able to make faces and parts of the pair's bodies asymmetrical? Yes, I was asking about this for The Sims 4. Asymmetry is so important in a life simulation game. Almost no one in this world is perfectly symmetrical. We need this kind of realism. Not a big fan of how Sims faces and bodies are all symmetrical, and Christine replies, it's not something we have planned, but it could be a really cool addition. I'll keep it in mind. We need something like this, guys. This is so freaking important. Having the ability to toggle that off, let's say like it's an on and off switch, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but making your Sims or parafolk asymmetrical really makes them so unique, and it makes them even more unique from each other than how they were if they were all symmetrical. Lindsay on Twitter tweets, Christine, will there be more pets than just the basic ones like dogs and cats? I'd love to have pets like turtles and hamsters. Yes, we need some more animals, guys. But then there's even less basic ones like a goose that I think would make a cool pet. Haha. And Christine replies, there will be cats, dogs, and horses at release. This was confirmed earlier. She then finishes, we're considering implementing more in updates post-launch. So we gonna get a Paralives My First Pet stuff, huh? Giving us hamsters and other small animals? We'd love to see it, except the only difference here is that it won't be a DLC of a DLC. It'll probably be implemented in a free patch, so I would definitely prefer it that way. VDRXWS tweets, Paralives, Leia, Christine, and Anna, hello. I have a small question. Will lights be controlled using light switches, or will you have to click the light itself in The Sims? This is actually a really good question. Christine replies, controlling the lights with light switches is not planned, so it's confirmed that that's most likely not coming to the game at launch. I don't know if this type of thing could be modded, but if so, it would make a cool mod. S Parafolk on Twitter tweets, Christine, will you make thirst as one of the basic needs of the game? I mean, water is life. No, I agree 100%. Hunger definitely isn't enough for a life simulation game. I definitely think thirst should be one as well, as you're not always always thirsty when you're hungry or hungry when you're thirsty, and they don't go hand in hand. Sometimes you're just thirsty or just hungry or both at the same time. I think thirst should be implemented. Christine replies, we haven't started working on needs yet, so ideas are always welcome. Guess this was a good time to recommend it. If they haven't started working on it yet, I guess it means it could come. It's possible. If we go towards a classic needs system, a thirst one could be great, guys. Please keep asking for thirst. We definitely need it. And no, not in the way you're thinking. Thirst as an actual thirst. Coming down to some of the last questions here. That damn good on Twitter tweets, bitch. I hope the water texture and animation waves improves later on, but this is amazing so far. So they released a clip recently showing a sim jumping off a roof into the pool, and the water definitely lacked animation. It lacked the texture, but Christine confirms that water will be improved as time goes on, and we have to keep remembering, guys, that they're in early development. They're still making the game. They're sharing progress of it with us, but they're in early development, so there's still ways and ways to go with that. Sophie on Twitter tweets, Paralives, Alex, Anna, Leia, and Christine, what is the status on beauty marks and freckles? Obviously Maggie has them, but I was wondering if Parafolk could have freckles on their shoulders or moles on their face/body. I'm asking as someone who has both. Christine replies, yes, you can add freckles to the body and face, and there will be moles as well. You'll also be able to color them. So important. So yet another feature confirmed. We're going to be able to have colored moles and freckles. I love this. The detailed customization is amazing so far. Can't wait to see what more they have to offer. And last but not least, coming in from Hannah Davis tweeting Christine, so I noticed that the clothing, would you need to buy clothing for your para, or would it just be available to you in Mirror? And also, would you have packs that might include more clothing options? Christine replies, we're still exploring our options regarding clothing. Maybe some clothes will only be accessible if you go shopping for them, but nothing is set in stone yet. I would love to see that. Definitely giving me Sims 2 Open for Business vibes. I don't know if you guys have ever played The Sims 2 or The Sims 2 Open for Business, but in that game, you could actually go out to stores, you could shop for clothes, you put things in your cart, you go up to the register, you check out, and you have new clothes that you buy that way. I would love to see something like that implemented into Paralives as well. So that is going to conclude things and wrap things up for this video, guys. Let me know if you have any other questions or suggestions or concerns with any of the questions asked in this video. Are there any features that have not been confirmed that you want to see? Let me know below. I love each and every one of you guys to the moon and back, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you did, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment down below, and follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. I'll see you all next time. So long, and happy simming and happy para living. Bye everyone.